कैमरा तो ठीक है जाने। Namaste and good afternoon and welcome to Papsan Rupandehi Educational Program 2077 Class 10 English Subject Compulsory English. So, we are still in Unit 1. Yesterday we read the text comprehension passage about how not to behave badly abroad. Today we are going to learn some structures about asking permission, giving permission, withholding and reporting. So, this is the continuation of Unit 1. Yesterday I gave you homework, I hope you might have done with some hints I had given you, and that was number 1 of follow up activities. Today we are going to see the second question of follow up activities, that is, what advice about cultural behavior would you give to someone coming to study in your country, to someone whom you know is coming to your country for any purpose, maybe for the purpose of study or for the purpose of work or for the purpose of having seminar or attending seminar or conferences, etc. So, whatever purpose the friend staying abroad is coming to your country, now you have to give advice to your friend. What is the way of life in your country, what are the greeting style of your country, how people wear clothes and what are the working hours, etc. It is related to number 1, but this will be the advice you are giving to your friend. So, let us see, it will be a letter, and because it is an informal letter, you will be writing in an informal way. I will tell you how to write, and here will be the date line. Some people write address up and some write date up. So, date line, and here will be the address line. So, this style what I have written here is there are 2 styles of writing. I will tell you later on. This is the indent style of writing letter, okay, indent style. What does this mean? This means the date line and the address line will be to the right side of the margin, okay. The date line and the address line will be to the right side of the margin. This indent style of writing could be also said traditional style of writing, that means which have been prevalent from the long time back. Now, after see, because this is informal letter, you need not write need not write the inside address, like in formal letters to the editor and then which newspaper, the Kantipur Post, and like that you have to write the address and all that. Here no need to write address because it is an informal letter, unofficial letter. So, salutation, dear Sarah, dear Jack or dear Thomas, whatever name it is. So, you will write salutation here, and the first paragraph, remember always the first paragraph is a courtesy in informal letter. We do not have this courtesy part in formal letters. So, here in intro paragraph means the first paragraph you will be including the courtesy part. I hope you are fine. I was very much excited to know that you are coming to Nepal next month. I hope your stay here will be great. You will enjoy staying in our country. So, these things you will write in the first part of the paragraph, and then purpose, always first paragraph it will have an opening paragraph with the purpose. Why are you writing him or her a letter? So, what is the purpose of writing? So, you will write the purpose. What is the purpose here? That you have to give advice about cultural behavior. You have to give advice or you have to give some tips about the cultural behavior, the way of living of the people of Nepal. So, this is courtesy and purpose. So, purpose you would begin like as you have never been to Nepal before, So, I would like to give some advice on the way of life of people of Nepal. So, which would help you make up your mind or make you ready to come here. Okay. So, this will be the purpose and courtesy, first paragraph. Now, you begin with the body paragraph. Now, what body paragraph, you will elaborate the purpose, what are the different behavior at different times. So, what will be the greeting like? Do you have physical touch while greeting? Do Nepalese people have physical contact while greeting, or what type of clothes do they wear, etc. Everything you will be mentioning here. So, everything will not come fit here in one paragraph. So, here you will write the way of greeting, the nature of people of Nepal. The people are very hospitable. They are not open at first. Initially, they will not start the conversation, and so the people of Nepal are shy in nature. They are reserved, you can say, and you also can say that if you have to begin the conversation, you ask about their marriage life, their house, where they live, and then about their job. And once they are familiar, they are very close to you, they would like to be very close, and they are very hospitable, they are always very generous to help you. So, that you will write in the body part, paragraph 1. Second, you will write about what type of costume can they wear or do they wear officially, like I gave you hints before in yesterday's homework. So, what type of clothes, means can they wear the clothes that expose their body, it is not allowed, yes, and are they able to touch their spouse or their wife or husband, spouse means, and or their girlfriend or boyfriend openly in the public, like in their countries? No, they cannot. Yes, even a husband cannot hug or kiss his wife openly in the public, it is embarrassing in our country, you can mention that. And again, what are the working hours here? When is the public holiday? You can mention everything here. What is the main meal of the day? So, working hours 9 or 10 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. you can say. So, these things you will mention in the second paragraph of body. And then courtesy close, you began with the courtesy, you are going to end with the courtesy. So, you will write, I hope my tips will be useful to you, and you will prepare your mind before arriving Nepal. So, I am waiting for you to come soon. So, this will be the complimentary clause, and then you will this will be the courtesy clause, and then complimentary clause, which in the indent style of writing, in the traditional style of writing, you will write complimentary clause again attached to the right side of the part, and then finally your name. So, this was the, see here, everywhere whenever I started the paragraph, you have to leave some space. Now, this, when you begin the paragraph, I will rub and show you by drawing lines. So, I am talking about right now is the indent style of writing, that is date line, address line, salutation will be on the left margin, yes, and then you will begin the paragraph with the little space. You have to leave little space here, yes, and wherever it ends, then again next paragraph you begin. So, this is the traditional style of writing letters. Okay. So, this is the complimentary, this is the courtesy clause, and this is the complimentary clause again. This you will write in the right side of the margin. So, this is called indent style of writing, that traditional style of writing. Now, I will tell you the other style of writing. You can write in this method. The people in most places nowadays, they use, they have stopped using this, does not mean that it is not prevalent, everybody still, yes, most of them they use this style of writing. And the modern style of writing, I will tell you by drawing lines. I have already given you hints what and how you are going to write letter and what are you going to mention in the letter. Now we will see the block style of writing, which is also called modern style of writing. Block style of writing. In this, there is no question of left margin or right margin, where you should write what. You don't have to worry about that. Yes, you just write everything, whatever you write, you begin with the left margin. There is no question of right. So, you do not get confused in this, everything. There in the indent style of writing, traditional style of writing, you wrote the address line and the date line on the right hand side. Here you will write everything touched to the left margin. Date line, address line, after leaving one line space, salutation, and there in indent style of writing you have to leave some space here before you begin the paragraph, but here in block there is no doubt you have to begin like this. Okay, everything will be to the left hand side, everything begins with the left hand side. See, the next paragraph also to the left hand side it will begin, and here the closure end, courtesy end, sorry, courtesy end, the last line also will come begin with the left line, left margin, and complementary close, which in traditional style of writing you had to write on the left right side corner bottom, but now you can write it on the left hand side. So, these are the two styles of writing. So, you can write in any, because you have been writing in the traditional style of writing, I would recommend you to try in this style. So, what content you have to write? There you will have a courtesy and purpose. Purpose should be mentioned in the first paragraph itself, like purpose is advise your friend or someone you know who is living abroad and is coming soon to study or work, whatever, here it is study. So, you have to advise or give the tips of cultural behavior of the people of Nepal. And here body, paragraph 1, this is opening paragraph, you have already opened the paragraph by writing the purpose. Now, you will write here what system, what culture, what is the way of living of people, what type of people are there. They are timid people, isn't it? Yes, they do not initiate the conversation. So, you have to, once they are familiar, they are very hospitable and they are always happy to help. So, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and then the courtesy end and complimentary close. So, this is how you have to write a letter, and this will be your assignment for today. So, what advice about cultural behavior would you give to someone coming to study in your country? So, we did this. Now, we go to see the title of unit 1, giving, withholding and reporting permission. Even though we have been doing this, but because it is in unit 1, it is easy, do not ignore it, saying easy. So, we have to do these exercises. These are the examples that I have written here. We will start with this part, which is on page 5, I suppose, page number 5. So, these are extra examples that I have written here. Asking permission, how do you ask permission? Can I, because you are the person who is asking, so I, you will, the subject will be I. Can I borrow your book? Now, see here, I have written borrow. Dear students, this borrow is in the V1 form. So, can I borrow your book? Yes. So, you can also write, could I borrow your book? Okay. May I use your phone? These are asking permissions. This is how you ask permission. Permission is what? When you want to do something and you do not know whether to do or not, and some senior person is there or your parents are there and you ask permission whether to do that or not, isn't it? So, is it okay now? May I use your phone? Now, see here, can and may, let me tell you the difference between them, although they both are used for asking permission. Can means ability. Can I touch the ceiling? No, I can't. I can't touch the ceiling. can you speak English? Yes, I can. I am speaking right now. So, this, can I borrow your pen? So, after I see there is V1 form which is written in the blue marker, yes, and can and may is more formal and may is more polite than can, but most of the people feel it easy using can. So, but it is not that, it is not a permission, but I would like to tell you that may is more formal. May I use your phone, may I go out, or may I borrow your bicycle. So, this is, may is more formal and more polite. So, may I use your phone? Is it okay? Is it okay if I use your phone? See again V1, use V1 form of verbs. So, is it okay? In this place you can also write, is it all right if I use your pen? So, that way also you could write ask permission. So, these are the asking permissions. Now, what are the responses? Yes, let us see the responses. I would like to see, responding to permission means either you allow them, you give them the permission, or you deny them. So, you are giving permission in the sense, of course, yes, of course, can I borrow your pen? Yes, of course, why not? Yes. So, here you are open and you are very kind to lend your book to your friend. But in the same case, if you want to deny, if you want to say no, I won't allow, or you don't want to allow, or you don't want to lend your book to your friend, what would you say? Withholding permission means you will give the negative response, sorry, I am afraid you can't borrow my book. So, that is withholding permission. Now, next question is, may I use your phone? That is okay, it is fine with me, okay. So, you can use that, or that is okay. And withholding, I am afraid not. Yes, I am afraid not. Now, afraid does not mean that you are very scared here, it is a polite way of denying, okay. So, do not think that afraid means frightened, very much scared, and then being scared also you are allowing, that is not the case. So, I am afraid is the polite way of denying or refusing, or not giving permission, withholding permission. Is it okay or is it all right if I use your pen? Sure, go ahead, take it, isn't it? So, positive response, sorry, I can't let you. Yes, I can't let you use my pen. So, this is withholding. So, here we are very clear. You can also use could here, could I borrow your book? Anyway, so this is the exercise that is given on page 5. Question number B, time for grammar in your book. Just A and B I have done here, the rest means you have to do from A to E all. Here, A number, use protector, there is the hint given, use protector, of course, means the response is positive. Can I use your protector? Person A ask, and person B responds positively, of course you can. So, that is the positive response. Now, B number states play football, I am afraid I can't let you. So, that is the clue given, the question, and A asks, you have to write the conversation between them, asking permission. A is asking permission, is it okay if I play football? And then B says, I am afraid I can't let you play football. So, this is refusing or denying in a polite way. So, this is from your book, and in homework part you can see on the slide. Yes, this homeworks I have given you. Please, I hope every student will take it seriously and do it. Now, the third part, see here, reporting permission, as is given on the title, reporting permission. Reporting permissions, that is on page number 6 in your book. Response is given here, I did not write the whole matter. So, only response, and here how do you report? So, A is asking for permission, B is responding, and A, the one who got the permission or was being withheld by giving the permission, will either way giving permission or withholding permission, whatever he is getting the response, that A person is responding, reporting to person C maybe, or person D, whoever, means the third person. Okay. So, here you can go home, he got the permission, you can go home, yes you can go home, may I go home? So, yes you can go home, that is the response. Now, reporting permission, see how do you report? Present passive, you are allowed to go home. Can you see here? I have underlined here with the blue marker, you are allowed to go home. ALLOWED, are allowed. Okay, that is the way you have to write. She is allowed to sit here. Allowed means you are giving permission. Yes, they have been given permission. Here, why she is, why we wrote the subject she, why we wrote here you. So, here you, here she, here he. So, what is it? Because here you, her, he. Can you see? So, that is why we wrote the subject. Let her sit here. So, the person is allowing her, third person, sit here. So, you are reporting she is allowed to sit here. You also use third person there, she is allowed to sit here, or she is, in place of allowed you can also use permitted. Okay. So, she is allowed to sit here. Now, he can join the party. He can join the party means okay, it is okay, he is also one of our friends. So, he can join our party, join the party. He is permitted, see he is permitted to join the party. After are allowed, is permitted, there is to infinitive. To infinitive. What do you mean by infinitive? Infinitive means V1 form of verb. So, to go, to sit, to join. Can you see? So, that point also you have to consider. He is permitted to join the party. Now, next, these were all three positive response giving permission. You can't park your bike here. You are not supposed to park your bike here. This is not the parking area. So, you are not allowed to park your bike here. You are not allowed, or in place of not allowed, you can also use you are prohibited to park your bike here. So, prohibited already, yes, comes in the what? Negative sense. Prohibited means not allowed. Okay, you are prohibited to park your bike here, or you are not allowed, or you are not permitted to park your bike here. So, this is negative response and negative reporting permission. Here, she can't stay there. Yes, she went to her friend's birthday party and it became very late and she is asking to stay there. Her friend is asking her to stay there and she is asking permission with her parents, and then her father says she can't stay there. Yes, I will come and pick her up. So, she can't stay there. So, she is not allowed to stay in her friend's house. So, she is not permitted to stay there. She is not allowed to stay there. So, these is how present passive is allowed, is permitted, okay, are not allowed or is not allowed according to the subject. Yes, you have to write the auxiliary verb is or are, and this is how you report speech. So, one example I have done from page number 6, that is the exercise in your book. You can take photographs here. This is the sentence, the response given in number A. How do you report? I am allowed to take photographs here. I am allowed to take photographs here. Now, suppose in the place of can, if there was can't, so what would you say? I am not allowed to take photographs here. I am not permitted. So, see dear students, do not forget what is the word here written. It is present passive. So, allowed, permitted, not allowed, not permitted. Here you use V1. May I borrow, may I use, isn't it? Yes. So, this way. So, this in reporting you have to report in that way. So, this is what we have learnt in the structures of giving, withholding and reporting permission. I hope I have made it very clear, and but still if you have any problems, any questions regarding this, you can ask your concerned teachers in your school. and contact them and just clear your queries. Now I would like to show you the slide, the last part of the unit. I would like to show you the slide, and the first slide please. So this is the question from your project work. Here you are going to learn, it is a brief description. Here you are going to learn how to write a descriptive essay, how to describe a place. Now here is a brief description of Bhedetar by Arun Pradhan. Read the description and prepare a similar description, similar type of description of your place or any place which is your favorite, stating what the visitors can and cannot do there. Paste a photograph of the place if possible. So if you support your essay with photograph, it would be very effective, very nice. Now that is the picture of Bhedetar. Yes, it's a beautiful hilly area. So you can see the houses there on the hills, and you can see one point at the peak, that is the Bhedetar viewpoint. So wish I could have the flashlight here. So that is viewpoint, Bhedetar's viewpoint, if you see the picture closely. So next slide please. Okay, here we go. We start the descriptive essay with with the topic Bhedetar. Bhedetar is a transit point to Dhankuta from Sunsari district. So transit point means what? From where you change your bus or your transportation and you go to Dhankuta from Sunsari district. So like Butol is the transit point here to reach many places, Gulmi, Gwadi or whatever. So here Bhedetar is a transit point to Dhankuta from Sunsari district. It is means Bhedetar is just 16 kilometers northeast from Dharan, like 16 kilometers from Dharan, and northeast, to the north and east side of from Dharan. It is at the top of a hill almost 1450 meters high from the sea level, means the altitude of Bhedetar is 1450 meters high from the sea level. People from different places visit Bhedetar. Now why do they visit Bhedetar? They visit Bhedetar for a picnic in the winter season, during winter season, and to enjoy cool fresh air in the hot summer season. So that is the speciality of the climate. What type of climate does that place have? And next is Charles Point. You can see Charles, he is the eldest son of Queen Elizabeth of Great Britain. So Charles Philip Arthur. Charles Point, a peak the British Prince Charles climbed in the year 1994. So that's why it was named Charles Point, and now it is known as Bhedetar viewpoint. People climb there on the tower of the topmost hill, and then they have a beautiful view, beautiful scenery of the Koshi plains and in the east or west, and Himalayas on the north. So here viewpoint, it is known as Bhedetar viewpoint, is a point one should reach. Whoever goes to Bhedetar, one should go there. Visitors are allowed. Now this, because this was concerned of permission, giving permission and withholding permission. So here I have underlined this line, visitors are allowed to take photographs there. So they can take as many photographs as they can. So next please. Yes, the first picture is the Pathivara temple, and that is goddess Pathivara. A road goes from Campek, Danda Bazar and Ravi from Bhedetar, and on this road or just side of this roads there are many hotels and lodges. Visitors can stay in cozy lodges. Cozy in the sense comfortable. Cozy means comfortable lodges and hotels there. So they can have a stay there. A 20-minute walk to west side from Bhedetar. Yes, if you walk 20 minutes further to the west from Bhedetar, it leads the visitors to the famous second Pathivara Devi's temple. Hindus are allowed to worship the goddess. Again see, Yes, they are allowed to worship the goddess. They say belief in supernatural power is necessary to view people together. So, they say means the people of that place say that it is, if you believe, if you have faith on supernatural power, almighty, isn't it? Yes. So, it is necessary. Why? Because it views people together. View in the sense connects the people together, it brings people closer. And in addition, Bhedetar is a viewpoint of the beautiful scenery of the plains of Kosi, as I said earlier. So, you can see the beautiful scenery of the plains from the Bhedetar viewpoint, and the charming, fascinating Himalaya ranges like Kumbhakarna and Makalu. Anyone can easily catch regular, that is the spelling regular, R is missing, regular buses or hire taxis at Bhanuchok, Dharan for Bhedetar. So, if you go to Bhanuchok, you can hire the taxis or you can catch regular buses and you can reach Bhedetar from Dharan, which is just 16 kilometers away from Bhedetar. So, that is the descriptive essay on Bhedetar. Now, as the question states that you have to describe your place and what are the things that, next slide please. Next slide. Yes. So, this is your homework now. I hope you all do your homework seriously. Page number 5, as I told you while explaining, page number 5 B, grammar for time for grammar, sorry, 1 and 2, page number 6, question number 3, A to E all, and these are all reporting permissions. And now 3 number is about Bhedetar that we learned. Describe any place stating what the visitors can and cannot do there. Paste a photograph of the place if possible. So, that would look beautiful as I have pasted. Now, some hints to help you develop a descriptive essay of a place. So, this is what the clues, you can take the help of these clues. Name of the place, what is the name of the place that you are going to describe? What is its location, in which district does it lie, or from how far is it from the capital or the famous place nearby? Geography, is it in the higher altitude or is it a plain area or it is the Himalaya? And climate of the place, like it is cool in the winter and it is warm in the winter and cool in the summer, or it is the climate extreme or moderate, you have to mention that. Facilities, what facilities like lodges and hotels are available in Bhedetar. In the same way, you will write about the facilities of that place. If any historical or religious sites in those places, then you can write about that too. What is the famous religious or historical place of that place? And then what are you allowed, you in the sense visitors, what are the visitors allowed to do and what are you not allowed to do there. So, because it is related to giving permissions, so you have to mention this in this essay. And next is famous place, what are the famous places there, why do people visit that place, so you have to mention that. And finally, how could you reach that place? Yes. So, famous places and things found there, what are the things found there, and finally its accessibility. So, students, this is your today's homework. I hope you will sincerely and honestly continue your homework, and this is for today. See you tomorrow. Thank you very much. मेटाई दी